Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of EdTech on the Street in the City That Never Sleeps, Noida edition. Today we are joined by the Director of Program Management Technology Services, Jasneet. How are you doing today?
Thank you for having me here. Thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
I am good. Thank you so much for getting here early in the morning. Many of our employees in the Noida office don't come in until later, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry.
That's okay. I can manage for a day.
I appreciate it. But I am so excited to really get to chat and get to know you through our conversation and dialogue and learn more about what happens in our program management on the ed services side, what that looks like, your expertise, because we haven't really chatted that much since I'm always in the marketing videos. So I'm ready to learn a lot. Are you ready?
I'm ready. This is first time for me.
See, we're going to have a lot of fun. And of course, as we always start with these videos, we have a nice icebreaker question. What is your favorite fruit?
Orange. Easier to peel and eat.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I love a good orange. Especially the Turkish oranges, which are like huge. Ah, so delicious. Okay, now I will stop with my spontaneous icebreaker questions and we'll get into our more serious and planned topic of program management.
Thank you.
So, yeah, you're like, hey, no more. So, our first question. With over 20 years in software and ed tech, what have been the biggest lessons in turning complex technical projects into tools that genuinely help learners, not just another buzz out there?
Okay. So, in my 20 years of EdTech experience, the two lessons that stand out very clearly for me is, first one is the intuitive UX. So, the most powerful platforms that we see, they may be very complex to build behind it, but they're very, very simple to use. So, if mantra is simple, if the learner needs to be trained on the platform, then that is not a learner-first platform. So, the systems, they need to adapt to the learner, it's not the other way.
Okay.
The UX has to be very intuitive right from the first click. That is my first lesson. Second one is that you need to understand the pain areas. Why are you building the platform? You need to think of why before how. So when we build a platform, most of our focus goes around the technology, the architecture, the infrastructure. But somehow this part is many times missing in many of the teams. When we are building a platform, if you're not able to address the problem,
Right.
then the system is not impactful. So you need to work on removing the friction rather than adding more features to it.
Right. That makes sense. I really like what you were saying in terms of intuitive approach.
Yeah.
I just feel like overall, not just talking about like UX or...
And what is the need to train the platform? We say that we will be doing the training. Users will be trained on how to use the platform. Why it is needed?
Yeah, correct.
It has to be intuitive. It is for the users, for them to use. Why they should not be feeling more overwhelmed. They've been feeling overwhelmed. We are trying to solve a problem here, not to add one.
Correct. And I feel that that's sometimes a hurdle that some educators feel when adopting new technologies or talking about AI, because it's so overwhelming and sometimes the tools are just creating more work so they don't use them.
Yeah.
So it's so important to have that.
So just simple design, very simple tips to follow.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like, yeah, teachers, we hear you. We're trying to create very intuitive solutions, not more work. Make our lives easier. All right, moving on to our next question. How do you balance technical requirements, accessibility standards, and user experience when delivering large-scale edtech solutions?
So to me, these are not the checkpoints or different aspects. These are the design principles on which the foundational design of the platform is to be built.
Okay.
So nothing comes as an afterthought. So our engineering teams here, our UX teams, our accessibility teams, they all get together to build that cohesive solution. It is not sequentially. So many a times teams make that mistake of taking especially accessibility as an afterthought, or it is deprioritized, but that needs to be incorporated from day one. So in here in Magic, we are having all these aspects incorporated in the definition of done. So we don't consider the task as done if it is not reaching the code quality bar, it is not accessibility compliant, responsive, device compliant. So all these aspects are there within the task.
Right. Now moving into our next side of discussion in terms of DevOps, which I feel sometimes can be a little bit overwhelming of a word. You're like, oh, does that mean like engineering or coding? But we're going to break it down. With Agile and DevOps practices being really common, especially maybe now more people are getting comfortable talking about that with AI era. But in your experience, what's the key to running successful sprints that deliver the real value for educators and students or district administrators?
See, initially the Agile framework, the DevOps framework, they were added to deliver value faster. But with time, I think the value is getting out and we are focusing on delivering faster.
Okay.
So the more focus is on the velocity, the say-do ratio. I'm not saying that is not important, it is really important. But what we need to also think of is the user adoption rate increasing. Are my incidents or the support tickets reducing? What kind of feedback I'm getting from the users, from the UAT? So not only focusing on the speed, but again focusing on the value. I keep coming to the value part because that's what is making the biggest impact to the users here.
Right.
So in the sprint, I always ask my team, what is it that you are trying to achieve? Don't focus on the task or the user stories that you've been assigned. Is it solving a problem? How are you going to link it to the quarterly goals that are you going to achieve? So if you don't understand, then we are just solving tasks. We are not solving the problems. The key is to solve the problem. Otherwise, these pieces will never correct when you try to join them at the end of the quarter.
So thinking about the long term.
Yes.
Rather than just adjusting the surface level.
Yeah.
For sure, because otherwise they're going to have to keep coming back to keep solving more and more.
That's what happens. We practically change these problems.
Like for when we're building or people who are coming from other companies?
Yeah, because those smaller tasks divided among 20 people. But are they joining together? If you're not thinking of where are you going to join these pieces together, you'll never be outcome driven.
Correct. So then they're all in sync with one another and working towards a common goal.
Yeah.
It's very good. Okay. Well, I feel like we're talking a little bit on the approach side now, so that's perfect timing for our next question. Talking about more from web applications to cloud infrastructure, what emerging technologies or new approaches are you most excited about for improving digital learning platforms and solutions?
Sometime back, I came across how AI engineering is working. So Magic also has an offering around AI engineering.
Right.
So that part is very much exciting because now the engineers are going to be tech agnostic. So all our life we've been focusing on whether we are the Java specialist or we are the .NET specialist. Now we'll be having a team of AI engineers who will be tech agnostic. They'll be focusing on understanding the problems, addressing them in a better way by integrating the best tools that we have, the best cloud solutions that we have. So it's going to shape up the whole learning experience.
So no longer people need to worry about gaining fluency in all these different coding languages.
Yeah.
AI is going to solve that for you.
Yes. The trick is you need to know which tools best suits best for your situation. You just need to integrate everything together in the foundational design.
Yeah. So shifting away, this is like a more unified approach in a way.
Yes.
It's good. AI does a lot. I at this point have a document with all the different AI tools and then what to use them for because there's so many.
So these AI native engineers will be specialists on what tool, what mode to use in which situation.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting a little bit into the streaming scenario, but now it's the AI version where you have to pay for all these different subscriptions for different AI tools and you're just like, I want an all-in-one package. Like Netflix and then Peacock and you're like, I just want what? Okay, anyways, that's my tangent about streaming. Moving on to our last question, looking towards the future since we are going to be entering 2026, how do you see program management evolving in the EdTech industry over the next few years? You can talk about trends like AI, accessibility, compliance, or more hybrid learning, virtual schools, whichever. What are your thoughts?
See, earlier in our old days, a program management life Our world used to revolve around the Gantt charts, the Excel sheets, maintaining manual data, going into the status meetings, status emails and everything. And little time was spared for actually analyzing what kind of a platform we are building. Is it serving the needs of the users? So I keep coming back to the same thing because that's the biggest point that we are missing.
Right.
So now the program manager is being seen as an outcomes architect.
Okay.
New term.
Yeah, that's new. I haven't heard that one yet. Okay.
I just invented it.
Oh, wow. This is like breaking news. I like it. It sounds good.
So everything will be done by AI. The risk prediction, the data analysis, the engagement analysis. AI will tell you this feature is working well.
Right.
You need to pick it up and now scale it. So based on the insights that AI is providing you, you need to pick the relevant things and take the appropriate action. So the program manager now has to see whether the duty is not only whether we delivered on time, whether we delivered what was expected to all the users in the right context. Hybrid classrooms you mentioned, the demand of the day. So if you're not thinking that your application is going to be responsive, be working in all the devices, be browser compliant, so it's not going to function because that is, students can use anything.
Right.
You need to be vigilant of all the facts.
Right.
And accessibility cannot come as an afterthought. Repeating again.
Yes, I was going to say I chatted with Tarveen earlier.
Yeah.
Really important. If you're using it still as an afterthought, first of all, you're failing in compliance.
Yeah.
And we have those deadlines approaching. But secondly, it's not making the digital learning inclusive and accessible for everyone.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So are you saying Gantt charts are out or?
They are almost, or the AI will be constructing now.
I see. Okay. Because I used to use Gantt charts all the time. So I'm like, now I gotta, maybe if you give me some tips as to what AI tool I should be using for that now. Awesome. Well, Jasneet, any final words, tips, tricks, advice that you would like to add before we close out our session today?
The only tip is don't run behind the numbers, see the value. Be in the shoes of the users, end users for whom you are working, because unless you understand the problem, you cannot solve it.
This is good. It's a good moment to end on, I think. You said it best, summed up the whole discussion in that one phrase. Mic drop moment.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, it was great chatting with you and learning more about the program management side of what we do here at Magic EdTech. I definitely learned something, including the new phrase the job title you just coined.
Outcomes architect.
Yeah, see? That's so cool. I think it's got a nice zing to it. But I hope anyone watching was learning something with our discussion today and are a little bit intrigued in terms of the future for program management when it comes to EdTech. Remember to check out the rest of our videos on EdTech on the Street, but then also EdTech Connect. We have a lot of exciting people coming on to discuss the latest trends, topics in EdTech and education. And remember to stay curious. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.